All right. So True Sports episode 9 is on the air. Taylor here along with Lewis. Taylor Phillips along with Lewis Tenore. The MLB trade deadline
Yeah.
is near. Juan Soto now has down to 3 uh, landing destination possibilities left. Juan Soto um, rejected a 15-year, $440 million deal. That's one I forgot to mention in our show, like a couple episodes ago.
I'll give you 2 words on that. Financial suicide. You had to be out of your freaking mind to give up that kind of money for that long-term deal. What more do you want? What more can you ask for? If that was me, I'd take it in a heartbeat.
Oh, here's the problem.
Here. Okay.
The Nationals are one of the worst teams in Major League Baseball right now, and Juan Soto does not want to stay with a losing team. That's why he rejected the.
I admit watching it is pathetic, but I don't know if any other team is going to pay out that much more.
Right, I know. Take a look. I'm taking a look at the standings right now. Washington is 35 and 68. 35 and 68.
Losers.
That's been pissing off. That's been pissing Juan Soto right off, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they are the worst team in Major League Baseball, the lowest winning percentage in Major League Baseball.
A comic tragedy if I ever saw one.
Yeah. The Oakland Athletics, the lowest winning percentage in the American League, 375. 375.
Oh.
That sure as hell beats 340 mathematically.
And I thought the Reds were bad.
Yeah, the Reds are 40 and 61. Even ahead of the Pirates, who are 40 and 62. Oof. They're edging up on the Chicago Cubs, who are at 41 and 60.
Oh.
Royals are 40 and 62. My Tigers are 41 and 62 after committing 4 errors and a 4-1 loss in Toronto. Javier Baez committed 2 of those errors. He now has committed 15 errors.
What?
15 errors. It's on MLB.com.
Oh, the horror.
Yeah, but Chris Ilitch still won't fire Al Avila unless he follows what the hell's going on.
Yeah. That'll be the day.
Right. But the MLB, those MLB trades have been coming and going. There could be a lot more in the week. I think it's August. I think it's tomorrow, right? The trade deadline.
Actually, I heard it was Tuesday.
Tuesday it is. Okay. Yeah. So yes. 2 more days. Less than 2 more days.
And don't forget about waivers, because they can still trade players after that, but they come off waivers. So just because the deadline is Tuesday doesn't mean it's going to be over.
Yeah, the waiver trade deadline is at the end of August.
Yep.
So, yeah, the 49ers moving ahead to NFL.
Yes.
They've signed Deebo Samuel to a big money deal.
Finally.
Let me take a look. Total value $71.55 million. Average annual $23.85 million. Guaranteed $58.1 million.
Mm-hmm.
And as I go to spottrack.com, come on, Deebo. There we go. Yeah, San Francisco 49ers. Yep. I nailed that one, at least.
Yes.
Yeah. Thus far, I actually have not gotten anything wrong. 3 years, $71.55 million total. He'll be an unrestricted free agent at the age of 30 in 2026. That'll be in 4 years. So, Lewis, your thoughts on that?
Well, it's still relatively young. I mean, 30 isn't that old, even in this day and age for baseball. But I think it's going to be worthwhile for that. It's not, it could be a lot worse. Yeah.
All right, and then Bill Russell, it was his time to go. I think he passed away at 81. He was a
88.
Boston's 88. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's quite old. Yeah, he was a legend for the Boston Celtics.
Oh yeah, 11 titles in 13 years. Took them to the finals 12 times and whatnot, and also won 2 NCAA titles, and even won gold at the 56 Olympics. So he's had quite a career in the college and pro rankings, and definitely got to be considered one of the best 50 of all time. I wouldn't be even higher, maybe like in the top 10 of all time. Never mind top 50.
Oh yeah,
like the top 10 of all time.
Good idea.
Excuse that racket for a minute.
Okay. All right. So I believe those are all the topics that we have to discuss, and now it's time for your true sports report. Lewis, take it away.
All right. And away we go, folks. And it's nice to be back. I'm just glad I'm doing this time because after what happened to me on Friday night, oh boy. I'll explain it later. All right, so in the Blue Jays over the Tigers 4-1. Barrows got the win, Hill got the loss, and Romano got the save. Braves over the D-backs 1-0. That run came in the bottom of the 9th inning. Jansen got the win, and Melancon got the loss. What a way to lose a game right in the 9th inning. Royals over the Yankees 8-6. Clark got the win, Holmes got the loss. Not what we needed. Losing to the Royals. You gotta learn how to beat these mediocre teams, folks, if you're going to for the World Series. Red Sox over the Brewers 7-2. Sorry. Winoski got the win, and Ashby got the loss. Oh, well. Phillies over the... Let's see. Okay, there we go. Phillies over the Pirates 8-2 in the Battle of PA. Nola got the win. Brubaker got the loss. The Cardinals... the Cardinals blanked the Nationals. Oh boy. 5-0. Talon got the win, and Gray got the loss. Reds over the Orioles 3-2. Diaz got the win, and Batista got the loss. And the woes just continue. Okay. Guardians over the Rays 5-3. McCarthy got the win. McClellan got the loss, and Class A got the save. I cannot get used to saying that word, Guardians. Sorry. Mets over the Marlins 9-3. Walker got the win, and Lopez got the loss. Battle in the NL East continues. White Sox over the A's 4-1. Cease got the win. Gilroy got the loss, and Hendricks got the save. Astros over the Mariners 3-10. Nurles got the win, and Bernardino got the loss. Dodgers over the Rockies 7-3. Golson got the win, and Marquez got the loss. Sorry. Rangers over the Angels 5-2. Burke got the win. Quintana got the loss, and Hernandez got the save. Padres over Twins 3-2. Meneza got the win. Bundy got the loss, and Garcia got the save. And finally, the Giants over the Cubs 4-0. Rodin got the win. Sampson got the save. All right. And when it rains, it pours, of course. Like I said, the Yankees, losing to teams like the Royals, they lost to the Reds a few weeks ago as well. You have got to learn to beat those teams, the ones that are mediocre and don't expect to win. if you're going to get far in the playoffs. Otherwise, you're going to be a laughing stock of baseball, and there goes going to go your season. Well, I hate to say it, but straight to hell. So you have to learn. You got to be the good teams too. But if you don't be the bad teams, then you're really going to be the toilet. Yeah. So as I mentioned, Bill Russell, it's got to be the story of the day. The thing is, though, it doesn't really come much as a surprise. He wasn't looking well, to be honest. Even when he was presenting an award for MVP of the NBA Finals, and he was looking very sickly at that point. And I think we all knew by then that he wasn't going to last long. I think they said he was suffering from a long-term illness at that. But nevertheless, it is sorry to see a legend like that, have gone from us. We've lost a lot in recent times, and just another example of the great ones being gone. If only I wish to have seen him play, live. But hey, guys, I'm not that old. All right, so now we'll go to the MLB standings here. All right. Well, first we'll actually go to tomorrow's schedule. A light schedule, as most Mondays are, and it goes like this. The Reds will take on the Marlins at 6:40. Mark that time down, 6:40. The Mets will take on the Nationals at 7:05. Also at 7:05 will be the Mariners versus the Yankees. Lots of ruck there. 7:10, D-backs take on the Guardians. 7:40, your Tigers take on the Twins. 8 o'clock, Red Sox take on the Astros. 8:05, the Orioles take on the Rangers. 8:10, the Royals take on the White Sox. The Rockies take on the Padres at 9:40, and at 9:45, the Dodgers take on the Giants, which I think is going to be quite a battle. Yeah. My main focus right now is between, I would say, the NL East and the NL West, as it looks right now, because these races, are getting tighter. I wouldn't count the Giants just yet. I think there's going to be something brewing within the next week. This is really the time of year, when you're battling for position in the playoffs and whatnot, and a good week could really get you in there, but a bad week, can send you far ahead of the pack and might not be able to catch up. All right, so we'll go now to the standings, and of course, despite the loss today with the Yankees, they're still comfortably in front with 69-34 and have an 11.5 game lead over the Blue Jays at 57-46. 14.5 back are the Rays at 54-48. How about this, folks? This, I think, might be the surprise of the year, maybe, as the Orioles are still at 500 at 51-51. That's right, I said 51-51 for the Orioles. The bad news is they're still 17.5 back, so I wouldn't start celebrating just yet. And the Red Sox are 51-52, 18 back. Over to the Central. Hey, we got a good race here. The Twins, 53-49, have a 1-game lead over the Guardians at 52-49. The White Sox are 51-52 games back. Okay, this could be a three-year race here, maybe. Further down the list are the Tigers at 41-62 at 13 back, and the Royals 40-62, 13.5 back. Boy, 2015 was a long time ago. To the West, Astros 67-36. They have a 12-game lead over the Mariners at 55-48. The Rangers 20 back at 46-55. The Angels 23.5 back at 43-59. And the A's are still the A's at 39-65. Yeah. Over we go here. The Mets are 64-37. The Braves are 3 games back at 62-41. The Phillies, long shot, but they can still make it 55-47, 9.5 back. The Marlins 17.5 back at 47-55. And as we mentioned, the Nationals are 35-68, 30 back. Forget it. You're done. The Central, Brewers 57-45. The Cardinals are 3 back at 54-48. The Cubs 41-60, 15.5 back. The Reds 16.5 back at 40-61. And the Pirates, perennial losers as usual at 40-62, 17 back. Well, they are. Okay, well, I think I forget what I said about the National League West because the Dodgers seem very comfortable in front now as they're 68-33, have a 12-game lead over the Padres at 57-46, although a surprise this season. Giants 51-51, 17.5 back. Rockies 46-57, 23 back. And the D-backs 45-56, 23 back. Yeah, still in last place, but still doing better than already last year at this time. So I guess you can say it's kind of like a moral victory this season so far. Well, depending how you look at it. I mean, last year, this time, they were, I don't think they even had 30 games in the win column. So it all depends on how you look at it. All right, so on to the news items of the day. And away we go. All right, so first up, as I mentioned, that former Celtics great has passed away. Bill Russell, a 11-time NBA champion, passing away at the age of 88. Mr. Russell passed away peacefully with his wife by his side. Arrangements for a memorial service will be announced later. The statement did not give the cause of his death, but he was not able to be present for presenting the MVP award at the finals. He was battling a long-term illness. And that's all we can say about that right now. As I mentioned, he was a standout at San Francisco, a 2-time All-American, won 2 straight NCAA titles, won 55 straight games, and won gold in the 1956 Olympics. His 13 years at Boston went to the finals 12 times and won 11 titles at that. That's something Michael Jordan can never touch. So, Speaking of more basketball, forward Xavier Booker has announced his commitment to Michigan State for men's basketball. Booker narrowed the list down to 10 schools that include, I want to write this down, people, Auburn, Cincy, Gonzaga, Indiana, Michigan, Notre Dame, the Ohio State, Oregon, and Purdue in the mix. A power forward from Indiana, Booker was an unranked 4-star player prospect before the start of the AAU season. That's the Nike circuit. But a string of elite performances with the All-Indy George Hill grassroots program where he earned all honors and established Booker as one of the top big men in the 2023 class. He will be ranked a top 10 prospect when the rankings are released later this summer. So congratulations on that. Okay, I don't know if anybody follows auto racing. Golf, PGA golf, but Tony Finau is on a hot streak. He won his 2nd straight event. This one came with a Rocket Mortgage Classic today. He shot a 67 in the final round.
Golf.
Yeah, I'm sorry, golf. I do have a NASCAR story though. He finished the tournament record 26 under 262. He won the 3A. He won the 3M tournament last week. Overcame a 5-back deficit, strokes to win by 3 to beat Brendan Todd. Wow. Finau's success began last year at the Northern Trust tournament after a 5-year winless streak. Wow. 5 years. All right, I did, like I mentioned here, for auto racing. Kyle Busch entered yesterday as he joined past winners at the Brick Motor Speedway for a photo of the 2023 class. He was seated next to Auré Lindike in front of Marcus Eckerson, Alex Rossi, and Helio Castavenis for a combined 8 champions. Busch is still without a contract, though, for next season. Okay. His longtime sponsor is pulling out of NASCAR at the end of the current season. If the Joe Gibbs racing team does not find a replacement, well, as the old saying goes, I'll just take my business elsewhere. Busch won the 2015 and 19 championship and won more than 60 Cup races. 56 of them have been with Gibbs since 2008. He wants to stay with the number 18 Toyota, but he knows that the clock is ticking, as the playoffs for NASCAR are within about a month from now. Okay. All right. The NBA opened up an investigation into the Sixers for possible tampering and early contact centered on the summer's free agency class of PJ Tucker, Daniel House. Sources told ESPN on Friday. One of the league's inquiries includes questions of Harden's decision to decline his $47.4 million option for the upcoming season and take a pay cut on a 2-year, $68 million deal. Around the league, there have been questions of whether there has been a handshake deal and holds an option for the 2023-24 season that will allow him to become a free agent and sign a new deal. Harden is a 10-time All-Star, 6-time All-NBA guard, says he told the Sixers president Daryl Morey he wanted to do this. He wanted to do his part to strengthen the roster, give them a better chance to win a title and player option. He declined last month. Could give them flexibility once the season gets underway. Well, we'll see about that. All right. Orlando Magic's Paulo Banchero had his DWI charge against him dropped after his former teammate Michael Serviano, who happens to be the grandson of Coach Krzyzewski, pleaded guilty to DWI on Wednesday. Oh boy. The grandson. Assistant District Attorney Maureen Haddon told the Raleigh News and Observer by email that it was not unusual for a person charged with aiding and abetting DWI to have their charges dismissed upon disposition of the principal DWI. Court records obtained by the News and Observer showed that Serviano pleaded guilty on Wednesday with 2 charges: driving while consuming alcohol, underage, and ran a stop sign, being dismissed. Serviano is on 12 months probation and must complete a treatment program as part of the plea agreement, according to the newspaper. He also served 24 hours of community service and paid a fine of $300. Both were charged at a traffic stop in November. Banchero was charged since the car was registered in his name. Well, way to go, dumbass. And people thought my generation was stupid. All right, one here. All right, there's been rumors about Charles Barkley and his career moves, thinking he was going to leave the NBA to join Live Golf. Well, got news for you. Wrong. Not going to happen. Barkley stated that in his best interest to stay with Turner and the NBA because both have given him everything, and it's best for me to stick with Turner and the NBA for the rest of my broadcasting career. Barkley told ESPN on Friday that he did not receive a formal offer from the LAV, but spoke to the CEO, Greg Norman, and said they offered me something. If they offered me something good, if not, I'm going to stick with Turner, and that's where I'm going to stay. Well, I don't know if I can see him doing golf, to be honest with you. I don't know. All right, the Carolina Hurricanes have re-signed defenseman Ethan Bear to a 2-year, $2.2 million deal. The Hurricanes announced the deal on Friday, exactly a year after the Hurricanes acquired Bear in a trade with the Oilers. Bear had 5 goals and 9 assists in 58 games last season. He struggled to find a rhythm after contracting you-know-what in November and was a healthy scratch in 14 playoff games. By you-know-what, I mean COVID. All right, for you Ranger fans out there, and I hope there are a few of them, the Blue Shirts agreed to a 2-year deal with winger Capo Caco for a $4.2 million deal. Thank God. The deal was with the number 2 pick of 2019, carries an annual cap hit of $2.1 million. Former player and now general manager Chris Drury made the announcement back on Thursday. Kako, playing 43 games last season, scored 7 goals and 11 assists in the regular season and scored 2 goals and 3 assists in the playoffs, which carried them all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals before losing to the Tampa Bay Lightning in 6 games. Thanks a lot. I don't know if you've been following this story, but former Senators for Bobby Ryan thanked fans for his support after his arrest last week at a Nashville airport on public intoxication charges. Okay. Ryan publicly acknowledged that he has dealt with alcohol addiction. He entered a substance abuse program back in 2019. He returned later in the season and scored a hat trick in his first game back and was awarded the Masterson Trophy for perseverance, sportsmanship, and dedication to the game of hockey. In Nashville, Ryan was reportedly caught on camera for shoplifting at an airport store. He left the store and then headed to a bar at the airport. Authorities identified him, but police say he was not compliant and became a danger to himself. He was arrested and booked. After being held for 8 hours, Ryan was released and the charges were dropped. Yeah, sometimes it's hard to break those habits. And let me see. Okay, and moving on to other news of the day here. Well, there was going to be a big fight coming up at the Garden this next Saturday, but unfortunately, it has now been called off due to a weight issue. I'll explain. The fight scheduled for August 6th between Jake Paul and Hasim Raham has been canceled in result of a weight issue with Rahim. Paul's most valuable productions department sent a statement yesterday. The fight was scheduled for next Saturday at Madison Square Garden. According to the statement, Rahim's camp told Paul's team yesterday that Ram planned to fight at 215 pounds on Friday. Rahim signed a contract for 200 pounds, and the statement said Paul was willing to compromise for about at 205 pounds. Paul said MVP said they will not reward someone who has conducted themselves in a decisive manner, therefore leaving no choice but to cancel the bout. So much for that. Yep. I don't know about you, but I'm not really a big Jake Paul fan at that. So, but I know a lot of people who are into that kind of stuff. So for you fans of that type of engaging sport, well, I'm sorry. Moving along. Okay. Mets fans, the wait is over. Pitcher Jacob deGrom is set to make his long-awaited return to the team Tuesday against the Nationals. That's said by Mets manager Buck Showalter. He told reporters that today. deGrom has been sidelined with a stress fracture. Says it's been a long time coming. That's for sure. There's been a very long time coming, and it's been a very slow process in getting back since he has not pitched since last July, over a year ago. deGrom pitched 4 games in AAA, 2 at St. Lucie, and 2 at Syracuse, pitching 12.5 innings, giving up 5 runs, 4 of them earned, 7 hits, but did strike out 21 batters. So all in all, not bad. Okay, here might be the other big story of the day. NFL disciplinary officer Sue L. Robinson is expected to issue a decision in the case against Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson as early as tomorrow. Ahead of the decision, the Players Association released a statement tonight saying that the union will stand by the ruling and expects the union and Watson, expects the NFL to do the same. Last month, the Texans reached a settlement with 30 women who made or was prepared to make claims against the organization in their alleged role in regards to the allegation against Watson. The NFL is calling for Watson to be suspended for up to a year. Now, whether it happens or not, that remains to be seen. But I do think that if he does get suspended, it's going to be a very lengthy suspension of about, the entire season. We'll have to wait and see about that. I don't know if he was a J-Rod fan, but I found out that J-Rod had x-rays on his right hand. They were negative after he was hit by a pitch yesterday as the Mariners held off to beat the Astros. General Manager Jerry DiPietro said MLB Radio Today. Further assessment on J-Rod's hand were ongoing in Houston. He is okay, but he was 50-50 for today's lineup. So there was a chance he could play, and there was a chance he probably could not play. Okay, for you Jets fans out there, Jets coach Robert Saleh has expressed concern over the use of the new Guardian cap, saying that the protective shells and are causing their players to use their helmets more than usual, and is concerned about the potential effects after they're removed later in the season. Saleh said, "I think the spirit is good, but I think there has to be a balance in everything." Say after yesterday's practice. After all, too much of anything is a bad thing. I think because of the soft blow, it's like letting the players to use their heads a bit more. I do think once they take it off, anyone who has played football knows that the first time you take your helmet off, or you're hitting the helmet or have a concussion, a collision, there's a shock. No kidding. I do think that if you wait till the first game for the shock to happen, I just don't know, but time will tell. Linesmen, tight ends, and linebackers are required to wear the caps through week 2 of the preseason. The cap provides a soft pad shell for the helmet. The goal was to curb the concussion rate, which in recent years in the NFL has just skyrocketed out of control. And anybody who's watched the NFL in recent years knows that. And that's the last thing that we want to say on that. The Rockies keep closer Daniel Bard for 2 years at $19 million. He was the subject of trade rumors ahead of Tuesday's trade deadline, but the deal was announced yesterday and will keep him right where he is. The right-handed pitcher is 3-3 with 21 saves and a respectable ERA of 1.9 in 37 appearances. And yet you're 3-3. Okay. He got his 22nd save last night, despite giving up a double in the ninth, and last night's win over the Dodgers. Bard began his career with the Red Sox in 2009, spending 5 seasons there. His time ended with the Red Sox in 2013 with control issues. That was the same year they also won the World Series. He briefly retired in 2018 to serve as a player mentor to the D-backs, then signed with the Rockies in the pandemic season where he earned comeback honors in 2020. Okay, moving on. Yes, I'm sure we have a few more. I know we have a few more here. Okay. White Sox shortstop Tim Anderson has been suspended 3 games and fined for an undisclosed amount of money after making helmet-to-hat contact with home plate umpire Nick Marley in last night's game against the A's. Okay. Anderson has appealed the suspension, so he was allowed to play in last night's game 2 of the series. Anderson was not happy with the first strike call by the umpire in the 7th. Both exchanged words before Anderson's ejection, who approached the umpire, making contact between the helmet and the cap. Ugh.
Ouch.
Yeah, you can say that again. My head just hurts just thinking about it. Okay. Padres reliever Joe Musgrove has now closed, or is believed to be closed, on a 5-year, $100 million deal that would start after next season. We've been working on the deal for a while. We are close, as we've been throughout the whole process, but I wouldn't say it's done just yet. Musgrove said that back on Friday after win over the Twins. Musgrove says Angels have been making it easy for him by taking the bulk of the negotiations during the season. Then we talk at night and discuss where the options are from there. What the numbers look like, when we get to that point, and how is it going to work, or if it's going to work at all. It has been really easy for us, Musgrove said. I will continue to go over it. The deal was first reported by the New York Post, a very high-respected newspaper in the New York area. And the Dodgers add to their bullpen by trading for Cubs reliever Chris Martin. Sources told ESPN back on Friday. The bullpen of the Dodgers has been shaky at times and dealing with a list of injuries more than I can count, including losing reliever Daniel Hudson to a torn left ACL, as well as injuries to Blake Tieran and Tommy Callahan. Despite all this, the Dodgers entered on Friday with the 6th lowest ERA from their bullpen. 6th lowest ERA in their bullpen. In the majors, with an ERA of 3.37. At last check, the Dodgers had a 5-game lead over the Mets for the best overall record in the National League, and at this point, it is still 5 games ahead of the Mets, as both teams won today. It's getting really interesting. Okay, the 49ers got some good news, but now they got some bad news. Defensive tackle Maurice Hurst suffered torn biceps in practice on Friday and will require surgery, said by Coach Kyle Shanahan. According to Shanahan, Hurst will miss the entire season. Okay, that's not good. He suffered the injury on a jet sweep where he reached out and grabbed the runner, and then his arm gave out. Hurst has been working out with the starting defense as the 49ers ease on tackle Javon Kinlaw back at his recovery from a torn right ACL injury from last season. As I said before, a train wreck. That's definitely a train wreck indeed. All right, see if I got any more coming up. Excuse me. All right. Oh. Okay, I think we have one more. Yeah, we have one more. The Jaguars signed kicker Elliott Fry and cut rookie Andrew Nevis, who widely missed 3 field goals attempts, including one that hit former Cowboys coach Dave Campo. Fry spent time with the Bills, Panthers, Ravens, Bucks, Falcons, Chiefs, Packers, and Bengals, but only appeared in 3 games. He made 3 out of 4 field goal attempts and 5 out of 6 PATs. Fry was also 14 for 14 on field goals for the Orlando Apollos in the now defunct AAF. Why would anyone remember that league is beyond me. The AAF.
Oh, yeah, the AAF. That reminds me of 5 Points Vid's video on the 50 things that lasted longer than the AAF.
Yeah, I can think of a few myself. Yeah. We've lasted longer than them. Oh, boy. All right, and finally, Washington Commanders defensive end Chase Young will miss the opening season with a knee injury that dates back to last year. The timetable is not surprising, given that head coach Ron Rivera on Tuesday said that Young will take most of the time of the 4 Commanders placed on the PUP list. Personally unable to perform, that is. One source from the Commanders said that Young would not be ready until mid-September. But Thursday was the first time that Rivera provided any sort of timetable for Young, who was selected overall in 2020. The opener is September 11th. Young was injured on November 14th of last season. At one point, Rivera said that Young could miss 4 games as he would open the season on the personally unable to perform list. Players will sit out the first 4 games before participating, but there is no set number of practices they must participate in before a return. Not exactly the best way you want to start your season. All right, that'll do it for me. I'll hand back over to you.
All right, this was True Sports episode 9. He's Lewis. I'm Taylor. We'll talk again sometime. Ta-ta. Hit him with a hind.
Good night, folks.